this is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Boring. 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 Boring.
You gotta work. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're gonna feel.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
Return of the sausages, indeed. Another big story making the headlines in recent days. But welcome to a Starmer-free zone today, though we'll probably mention them at some point. I'm Lembit Öpik. This is Lembit Öpik Live on Unprecedented TV. Welcome once again to the show where we find the facts, kill the spin, and tell it like it is about the subjects that we think you might want to know about. We talk about facts and our opinions, but we never mix the two, unlike the mainstream media, some would say. And today we're going to talk about the curious rise and rise of the Alliance of British Drivers, which is an organization that represents, well, about 37 million of you all over the country, to government and to local authorities too. What does the ABD do? Well, they seem to be a voice for common sense, in my opinion, for drivers. Why do they have to exist? Because sense is not common in government. There seems to be a relentless push to punish you for driving a vehicle. Oh yes, woe betide you if you want to get from A to B on four wheels. Indeed, you're meant to walk to work, walk to the shops, or cycle your kid to the school, regardless of the danger per mile that can bring on. And woe betide you if you have the audacity to think that you can park your old petrol vehicle in front of your house. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, certainly doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to live in a 15-minute city, totally unaware of the fact that people resent him a little bit for going around in his armoured car, while the rest of us all have to sit in the highly polluted atmosphere of the London Underground and other irony. But that being said, we do have an antidote. It's called Full Throttle. It's a program that we started from humble origins here on Unprecedented TV to put the driver's view first. And the Alliance of British Drivers has been involved in that. You are watching it in droves. Is it challenging Top Gear? I hope so. Certainly going in that direction. And one of the architects of the success of this fine show is Paul Naylor. There he is.
Hello, sir.
Story. Paul, how are you doing?
Or should I say, good morning, old sausage.
Prepared the sausages. How can you make a mistake like that? Okay, instead of what we're going to talk about this time. How can a prime minister mix up hostages and sausages in his keynote speech?
It's the incredible ridiculous. The way that he corrected it was the most hilarious thing, but still, yes. I mean, it feels like ancient history now, but it's just, what a banger. What an absolute banger.
Oh, see, we did that. You're sizzling today. There used to be this advert for sausages called Ding Dong Denny in Northern Ireland. I'm not sure it made it to the mainland. But there we go.
Not familiar with that one.
Can I congratulate you on the most boring background I've had on the show?
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I've gone for Midlands Grey. So there you go.
Great. But there is a difference between that wall and JLR. It's working.
It's still up. Yeah. Yes. Troublesome times at JLR. Yes. I used to work in Wolverhampton at the Express and Star, and when JLR was first sort of...
I just should explain, JLR stands for Jaguar Land Rover.
We should indeed.
Yes. They used to make cars.
They did. They now do spurious things, but when it was first announced that it was coming to the Midlands and coming to the business corridor, it was exciting times for the newspaper, because I thought, wow, this is a real big contender. Roll on a few years later, and we've got the situation where JLR haven't produced a single vehicle since the beginning of the month, all down to a cyber attack. But it's not just them that are suffering, it's the supply chain. And the the calls for furloughing from the government, I think, should be met, because at the end of the day, if this is a cyber attack, it's not really the fault of JLR or its workforce or the supply chain. And we all remember furlough, don't we? So
Good old furlough.
good old furlough, dig it out. So yeah, I would certainly back that as an option. Whilst I'm not in any way convinced of the direction that JLR have been going in the last few months, it's out as a potpourri of an advertising campaign that had very little. Hey,
Look at you middle class.
Did you like that?
You don't have potpourri in the Midlands, do you?
I think my mum had some back in '83. But the advertising campaign, that very misjudged Emperor's New Clothes of an advertising campaign, that really did start something of a demise for JLR. And now this on top of that. It starts to feel like somebody's got a voodoo doll of JLR and keeps sticking pins in it, don't you?
Yeah. What were they thinking when they put that ridiculous advertising campaign?
Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't even if you played that to people without the JLR logo in it in any way, shape, or form, you wouldn't have a clue what that advert was about.
Yeah, just briefly, just tell us about that advert. We'll see.
Well, this is the one.
I'll just see if the team can find it, but I'm not sure they're going to find it in time. But
no. I mean, this is the one that had very, very unusual looking people, shall we say, dressed in various block colours of orange, yellow, turquoise, and pink. The whole United Nations was represented in a group of about 15 people. And it was just utter dross, nothing to do with cars, and really, this is where a marketing team is. Wow, that company did very well to get that one across the line, I tell you. Having come from that sort of background myself, but yeah, it just didn't look anything like a motoring advert, and this is the problem that we've got at the moment. We've got so many people that they get involved in so many different important parts of society that are trying to twist things in a way that 90% of us we're not interested in.
Hold the front page. I think the team's found the advert just for you, Paul Naylor. This is the advert that speaks to you and your thought. Let's see if we can play it.
To me?
Yeah, here it is.
I must get a new Jaguar. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
That client doesn't want me to get a Jaguar very much. I don't really feel. No. I don't feel inspired. That's the one you're talking. What a mean, Paul. You're a driving boffin. Explain it to me. Who are these people?
I don't know whether they're actually being paid to help to clear the roads by stopping people buying anything new.
It's the most ridiculous advert. Are you saying that materially damaged their business?
I think that's certainly started the rot. But on top of that, with this cyber attack, then they're going to struggle big time. I haven't got any figures at hand, but I do believe that as a result of that campaign, the number of vehicles that were sold since that aired went off the edge of a cliff. Totally missing the point of who a Jaguar driver or somebody who aspires to drive a Jaguar actually is. I mean, I'm sure
Lembit associated with it,
Well, exactly. I'm sure Lembit. I mean, when you were a youngster, if you saw like an XJS or something go past you that you thought, oh, I'd love one of those one day, are you going to think the same now? I certainly wouldn't. So
I mean, it just what's weird about it is their inability to understand that essentially is the antithesis of what most Jaguar drivers are.
Yeah,
it's masculine and ego building and
Oh,
rum,
it's-
rum, and all of this.
It's this dilution of age-old gender that absolutely drives me up the wall. But still, what can you do?
It's the emasculation
Exactly.
of men, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
and it doesn't just damage men; it damages society totally. You get the feeling that the tide is turning a little bit at the moment, but it's like turning around the Titanic, isn't it? It's going to take some time.
this is not what we're planning to talk about, but
It isn't, but it's fun.
it's like it's catharsis. It's catharsis. It's two old codgers talking about the good old days.
Two grumpy old blokes sat on a park bench with a flask. There you go.
Maybe this is the secret of success of Full Throttle. Oh, to indulge you, the team has found something from the old days.
Oh,
E-Type.
wow. Here we go.
Let's feel a little bit better about. I'm not quite sure what they've come up with, but they've got some kind of a. They say, "Watch the speedo."
There you go.
There we are. They are E-Type. Now that's a car.
Of course.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful.
Nobody dressed like a Teletubby there, is there?
No, and look, they're thin. Everyone's thin. There's no money. It's just after rationing. Now that's an engine. There's no electric hybrid there.
No.
77 RW.
I was going to say
1961, I'm told.
That's a number plate.
This
Look at him filming from that one. That's brilliant.
It's a piece of beauty, that.
Yeah.
That really is absolutely stunning. Apparently the handling wasn't very good.
And here come the police to pull him over.
Well, apparently not. Now, what's interesting is he goes past other cars. I'm told that the Speedo does something interesting now. They say, watch the Speedo. That's what the team says. There we go. Let's think 150.
Did you see the speed camera operator on that bridge?
It might not have been. It might have been a camera operator. It's a beautiful thing. Isn't that a beautiful car? I mean, it's stunning.
Yeah, and look how clear the road is. I mean, that's probably just opened, doesn't it? That motorway.
Yeah, it must be the M1. So, I mean,
yeah.
He's not enjoying it enough, though.
No, he's being way too serious. That was a very, very young Jeremy Clarkson there, of course.
Yeah.
But
and why not? A day when his kind of mindset used to be applauded.
And on that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Let's talk about the problems now.
Yeah.
First of all, I have to praise you as the owner of the station. Your Full Throttle is going full throttle. Yeah. The numbers, the viewing figures are phenomenal. Thank you. Obviously, I'm shamelessly self-promoting the station by doing this, but we have to regularly watch the numbers for the sake of our sponsors, and you are just absolutely smashing it. What is it about trains, planes, automobiles, and everything else that makes people watch your show?
I mean, I'd love to think that it's my charisma, but I think it's probably more likely to be down. It's more likely to be down to the facts. At the ABD, we like to talk common sense, and I think what we are at last the voice for the silent majority. People out there who have a grumble to themselves, or like you and I just have done on a park bench. But
that just sounds a bit wrong the way you said that.
It does, yeah. Okay, scratch that. No, in fact, scratch that as well. But no,
it's a family show.
It's a dystopian family show.
Oh, well, the dystopian. Hark at you at this time in the morning. You've had your shredded wheat then, and we will take sponsorship from shredded wheat if you want to have. Well, if you like the brand here, we like your brand too.
And for our shorter shows, bite-sized shredded wheat. No, I think what it is genuinely, Lembit, is that it's what we talk about is common sense, not only just for the motoring, but also on net zero issues as well, where we're having the wool pulled over our eyes on that one. For the motorist, everything is being done to stop us from having access to decent roads and to be able to get from A to B to D. But yeah, we are being priced off the road. We are being given road surfaces that are making us think twice about going certain routes. And then when we get to where we do want to go to eventually, we're being priced like crazy for parking. So everything that we try to do as a driver, and it's more important than being a driver. It's about independence. It's about being able to get to where you need to get to under your own terms. You can't force everybody onto a train. For a start, there's not enough rolling stock, certainly not in my experience anyway. But also, a train will only get you so far. You have to drive out of your way to get to a train station, to then do the journey, to then either get an Uber or whatever to get to the final nitty gritty of your journey. So for me, trains have never been a viable option. I was born and raised in rural Shropshire. Now, the town that I grew up in, it had a train station.
Which town was it?
Newport. And that was the train station was closed before I was born. So I think it was closed late 50s, 60s.
Beeching.
Yeah, as part
there's
of
a man, for those younger viewers, a man called Beeching who is hated. He's hated, but actually he was commissioned by the government to shut train stations because this was the age of the car.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, really.
And so now we've got all these retrospective steps. I mean, I would say that whilst I'm not a massive train user, had they have gone down a route of connecting east to west rather than the HS2 route, that would have probably made more sense and been more useful to more people. As it is, we've got this money pit of a project that never seems to have an end date associated with it.
Yeah, HS2. What a terrible waste of money.
Absolutely shocking.
What I would have done is, instead of creating a whole new rail system, for those who aren't familiar with this, this crazy idea was to build a whole new train set, but not for the whole of the country, really from London to Birmingham. It wasn't realistically going to go any further than that. And it was going to cost about 5p to begin with, and now it's like $500 billion or something ridiculous. What they should have done, if they wanted to make the trains go faster from A to B, would have been to have bypasses around the stations so that you could use existing lines, let the trains do 100 miles an hour, even 110, and then you could actually go from London to Glasgow in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, with existing rolling stock. What holds things up is the stopping trains along the way.
I mean,
no one's ever told me why that's not a better idea.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the way that it was sold to the general public was it'll get you to London from Birmingham half an hour quicker. May I make another suggestion? Catch the train before that, and then you'll get there when you need to be there.
Also, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what was the time saving going to be?
I think it was 25 to 30 minutes, I believe, from Birmingham to London.
No, I think it was 10 minutes. It was a trick.
Was it 10 minutes? Yeah. Thinking about it, I think it was.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. So
basically, if you've got decent internet on a train and you're traveling on business, you don't need to get there 10 minutes faster. And that's the terrible thing. You get on these trains and the internet's dreadful, probably because everyone's on it. All they have to do is spend a few million improving the internet, literally the internet, and then you're perfectly able to do your work on the way there. And you're not going to say, oh, another 8 minutes. You're not going to say it. It's ridiculous.
It's that modern mentality.
What's wrong with this country?
Yeah, it's that modern mentality of everything's got to be done now. In the old days, in the good old days before the internet, if you were on a train journey to do business, you read a book, you read the paper, whatever. You don't expect it to carry on working. It's backward steps all the way. But yeah, I mean, going back to your high praise for Full Throttle, it's an important show. I mean, we have some good guests on there. We're looking at having Brian Catt on in the next show or two.
And he swears a lot. You've got to watch him.
He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah,
trying to bring you down to a level that people understand is the challenge. I'll be there as a moderator, I think. but no, he is great. And these matters, we genuinely care about these matters, not only for the motorist, but in general for people who somewhat doubt the likes of our dear friend Ed Miliband and his policy to put a windmill in everybody's back garden. But what
Ed
can you do,
Miliband.
Lembit?
I mean, what a guy.
Yeah.
You don't hear much about him these days, though, do you?
No. Occasionally I hear your impression, but that's about it.
Oh. The answer is literally blowing in the wind. Come on, Grant.
Hang on, let me get my ukulele out. 1 second.
Oh, see if you can. I'm going to have to see if they can find. I know exactly the clip you're talking about when he plays the ukulele in some field somewhere.
Shocking.
Ed Miliband is just this weird guy, and he's kind of this crazed guy. That's not the video. That's good.
I like
good.
that.
It's good. It's not right. And this guy is just so easy to mock, basically.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, my team's. They've got an entire portfolio of stuff. The most dangerous man in Britain.
I'd go with that. Yeah.
What's wrong with him? Why does he think there's a climate emergency? By the way, sorry, opinion coming up, folks. There's no climate emergency. There isn't. It's impossible for the tiny amount of carbon dioxide human beings put into the atmosphere to be disrupting the climate. Yeah. So that's my view. That's my opinion. You can disagree. If you do disagree, go to X. You can tell me. I'll have a debate with you all day about it. What is it about this man that gives him carte blanche to ruin our economy?
I've no idea. Have we ever had any big debate on this? Have we been allowed to have some sort of referendum on whether this is the route that we want to go as a nation? No. And why not? Because every time we have a referendum, it doesn't go the way they want it. These are very important matters. Much how Brexit was important, that it was a cross-party discussion. This needs to be the same. This doesn't need to be sort of driven by the Labour Party. It doesn't need to be driven by the Conservatives. It doesn't need to be driven by anybody. It is important to every single person in this country, regardless of their political persuasion.
But okay, what's the rationale? The question I often get asked is, okay, if it's all made up, what's the motivation for making it up? I know my answer. What's yours, Paul?
Well, it goes back to what you were saying at the start of the program about 15-minute cities. It's about turning us from humans that have got freedom of movement to worker-ants. They'll just have you where they want you.
That's worker-ants. That's pretty depressing.
That for me. I mean, it's just my opinion, but it's a way of suppressing people. It's very Orwellian. This is George Orwell's 1984 come true.
Yeah, it is very depressing.
It's frightening.
And yet, when you say it, you're accused of being essentially a Holocaust denier, climate change denier. You're a climate change denier. It's obviously,
and it makes you so far right as well. You know,
we're all far right now. I don't know.
Well, when I lean to the right, you get more of my grey wall. So, there you go.
Suddenly, I feel like I can see the face of little baby Starmer. Great news. The ukulele thing. I think they're trying to just get that up for you.
Wow, they're bugging out of me.
I should explain this ukulele piece of performance. It's my single favorite piece of video of Ed Miliband, and it's from years ago, but somehow he thought that playing a ukulele in front of a wind farm would be just for you. It's always unpredictable being on a show with Paul Naylor. It gives me an excuse to play my favorite video ever of Ed Miliband. Can we play it, please? Can we play it?
Is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. So here I am on the latest stage of my GB Energy Tour, and I'm near Mansfield at the Lyndhurst Wind Farm. Now, these turbines behind me provide power for 5,000 homes. They were built in 2010. But here's the bad news. Since 2015 in England, only 3 of these type of wind farms have been built and are up and running. Now, that effective ban introduced by the government has raised people's bills for every family in Britain by £160. And the worst news is this: the new Energy Secretary, Grant Shapps, he says these are an eyesore. Come on, Grant. What are you thinking of? The answer is blowing in the wind.
I take you back, Lembit. Your impression is spot on.
It's blowing in the wind. It's blowing in the wind. The ukulele, I can play the harmonica. I was on a show yesterday, and we've actually got a new show, Beyond the Mainstream, with Jackie and Richie. Yeah, it was great. And it went out last night for the first time, and they found me playing the harmonica with Rob Brydon on television from years ago. I can actually play the harmonica. That's the difference.
Hey, good man.
This is the man who's responsible for the climate emergency, literally the climate emergency. He wants to bury 22 billion pounds worth of carbon dioxide, the gas of life.
Yeah.
And,
well done,
by
Ed.
the way,
well done.
dear viewer, a lot of opinions being expressed, but I think I can say on behalf of myself, and I'm pretty sure Paul agrees, there is no climate emergency. Carbon dioxide, it feeds the plants. You reduce carbon dioxide, the plants starve. You get rid of carbon dioxide, the plants die, and so do we.
Yeah.
And yet this man seems to be responsible, not Paul, Ed Miliband seems to be responsible for trying to get rid of it. What's wrong with these people, Paul? And then government.
I mean, I agree. From the science that I've seen, there is no emergency. The thing that concerns me above and beyond that, though, is the fact that even if there was an emergency, which there's not, but even if there was, as a nation, this drive to be at the front of the queue in turning us to the dark ages is ridiculous. You're going to get America, China, Russia, every big power laughing their socks off as we impoverish ourselves. It baffles me. I just don't understand the logic behind it. Even if we did become net zero as a nation, we're a tiny landmass. It's not going to make any difference across the planet, and the rest of the planet will benefit from it by using whatever. There you go. They'll be benefiting from it by having all the business to build the net zero bits and bobs that we need, because we won't have enough power in ours to churn out a new a new windmill. So somebody somewhere with a coal-fired power station will be able to do that on our behalf. Thank you very much.
It's absolutely insane.
It is.
Net zero by 2050. It was an unforgivable mistake by the Conservative Party. I don't even understand what this graphic is meant to be. Is it a bin? Is it a dustbin?
I think it's a bin. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it's a joke. It's a flipping joke. But it's wrecking. This is wrecking not our climate. It's wrecking our economy.
Absolutely.
And I'm not against. I'm not against the concept of nuclear power. In fact, I'm very keen on it. My father was a nuclear physicist. When I was a kid, I was totally against nuclear power. I guess because my dad was in favor of it. And you know that old phrase: "When I was 18, my father knew nothing." When I was 21, I realized I was amazed at how much my father had learned in just 3 years. But
I like that.
Yeah, I wasn't like I can't remember what great person said it, but he was very much in favour of this nuclear power station.
Yeah,
I went to one. I wasn't that keen until I went round. I was so impressed whenever I went there, and I went to Sizewell, and it's a thing of beauty, really.
Yeah,
and I've got no objection to that. I've got no objection to using less of our precious resource, oil. But the idea that we're doing it to try and cut carbon dioxide, as you say, it's just a flipping joke. Because the reality is, without oil, without gas, then we just price ourselves out of the market, essentially. But still, it continues. Go on, Paul.
It is ridiculous. I mean, we've got oil reserves off the North Sea that there's a lot out there. We've got shale gas that we keep refusing to explore. But all these things, I mean, we're trying to be self-sufficient in terms of power. We've got answers at our fingertips without going down this inadequate route of using wind turbines and potentially solar panels. Now, solar panels, there is an element of success with those, But to be able to create the power that we need for this country, we would need to replicate the country over and over again to be able to get enough solar panels to generate what we need. So, you know, I just think we should explore some more of the some of the more traditional routes to get
Now,
energy.
full throttle covers all kinds of transport. You must have been quite delighted about recent announcements that they're going to build at Gatwick and apparently Heathrow as well. The great news is we're now going to get more runway space, an extra runway at Gatwick and a third runway at Heathrow. How does this even add up?
Well, when they're trying to ask us to sort of lessen our carbon footprints, surely that translates to less flights. So in doing this, what are we doing? Perhaps we're just creating large car parks or plane parks rather for when cyber attacks happen and planes can't take off. Maybe that's what it's about.
It's crazy because then you see Yvette Cooper running around ineffectually in America. How did she get there? Did she swim? This is the thing. So on the one side, we're not meant to be flying. The other side, now, I'm not sure that Miliband thinks about it, but they're expanding runways. Now, I agree, by the way. I had a great chat with the Heathrow people a couple of weeks ago. I am absolutely 100% in favor of having a second runway at Gatwick, third runway at Heathrow. You don't cut aviation by cutting runway space. You just get people to fly east and then fly west, for example, to Amsterdam and Charles de Gaulle. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we've got this completely illiterate government that on one side wants to bury carbon dioxide, but then on the other side is more than happy to have this 400-ton or 600-ton aircraft taking off at Heathrow. And they never stop flying around, do they?
They do not. But they also don't make any secret of the fact that they want us, the minions, to fly less. So who are the planes for? Is it just so that they can have one plane for themselves, one for their luggage? I don't know.
There's a particularly dumb member of the Green Party who my friend Keith was arguing with, and this dumb member of the Green Party was going on about cutting carbon dioxide. He said, "But you fly," he said to her. "You fly." She said, pompously said, "I only allow myself one flight a year." To which he replied, "How do you get back? Walk?" It's just a good result.
She deserved that. She definitely
did deserve it. Yeah. We're going to take a risk and see if we can play your trailer at some point for your show. I have to say, I do really enjoy your show whenever I got time to watch it. I'm too busy commissioning new ones. Here it is. Right, this is full throttle. You're going to have to explain after this. You're going to have to explain what the train's all about.
Yeah.
What's with the steam engine?
Those brakes need looking at, don't they? Well, I think heritage railways, and again, that lovely word heritage. Now that we're able to put flags up on motorway bridges, it's great, isn't it?
Racist.
But yeah, far right. But
how can it be racist to put up a British flag? You go to America, everyone's the flag. Everyone's the Stars and Stripes. Yeah. They wear them with pride. Apparently, you're racist to support Britishness here. They might offend illegal immigrants.
I don't even know where it came from. Do you? I mean, I can remember back in the 70s when it was the Silver Jubilee. We were all going mad. There I was as a little kid waving my flag, and the Queen did a tour of the UK and went past in her car. She wasn't driving, but yeah, I'm from from a vintage where I can remember being proud of my country and being able to wave the flag. I mean, what are we going to do in future when England are in a major competition? England football team, are we supposed to not wave the flag? Wasn't there some controversy over the last kit that England had, where the St George's cross on the back was basically it's not really there? What was that about? I mean, it's
ridiculous.
pandering.
It's
Pandering to the mentality of the minority.
When I go to Estonia, where my parents came from, they're perfectly happy to wave their Estonian flag there. Nobody accuses them of being racist. It's just this. It's the overthrow of decent, good old British values. The very values that were kind enough to welcome my family, and the quid pro quo, the reciprocal, was that my family embraced British culture. There's a very simple line. My family taught me to embrace the culture that embraced us. As simple as that, and it's not complicated. No. And I have to say that when we go into all this woke ideology, petrol and diesel bad, electric good, I just think the lunatics have taken over the asylum. Incidentally, we showed Ed Miliband. We initially asked him if he'd watch one edition of Full Throttle, and his reaction was quite positive to begin with. That's what he did. Yeah. And then afterwards, we took a picture of his head after he'd seen it. It was less positive, really.
I like his hair like that. That looks good.
It's actually quite a chilling thing. 57 megatons, most deadly experimental bomb ever detonated. Yeah. But back to the situation, we've got a bunch of crazy politicians. Depending if you're watching this live or on the archive, when we're filming this live, there is likely to be a speech by Ed Davey, the leader of my old party, and he's talking about inviting scientists to come to the UK. But why? He thinks there's a climate emergency.
Well,
why can he talk about science when he thinks that 0.04% of the atmosphere, which is CO2, can drive the climate, and the 3% that we add, that we contribute to the tiny amount that goes out every year, most of it is natural. Why does he think, when he thinks that tiny amount can drive the climate, that he can talk about science? What's wrong with these people? We've got a picture of Ed Davey, by the way. Be honest now, Paul.
Yeah.
Right. I know I used to share an office suite with him, but be honest.
Yeah.
Is this the man that you want to have as your prime minister? What's he think? Why does he do this?
What I don't understand about their last big political campaign was he seemed to think that he was in It's a Knockout rather than actually a political sort of party. It was absolutely incredible. Everything you just got him sort of laughing and smirking, looking like the human embodiment of Zippy from Rainbow. It was absolutely crazy. And yet they did so well in terms of
they didn't do well. It was because Reform did well.
Yeah.
And Reform reduced the Tory vote, and the Lib Dems stayed where they were to an extent and got in. So if you're there, if you're there, and the other vote goes down because all they've crossed to Reform, then you win. He's of course been attributed as being the great leader in 72 seats, but he's talking about science. This man is inviting people.
Would you trust this man?
Kid, he's a good father, I think, but as a leader, this isn't the look I want. Also, all he can to distance himself from America. If he became prime minister, how does that help the special relationship? It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't think it's something that we're going to need to worry about, is it? I can't see him becoming prime minister.
No, I don't think so either. With ABD, it's a big deal, really. ABD's going pretty well. There he is again. They really want to provoke you. You don't think this man is going to be the prime minister then?
I'm willing to put a sizable chunk of money on that. It's not going to happen.
All right. Well, you heard it first on Lembit Öpik Live, and he said Full Throttle there. You're having a knock-on effect on me. Just in terms of the ABD, then you're a campaigning organisation. Just tell us a little bit of the Alliance of British Drivers. What's it
Okay,
do?
so ABD has been going for a number of decades now, and we are the voice of the motorist. We look at policy changes that come in, conditions of the road, different events that we go to where we are promoting the right to get about, the right to get from A to B, and the fact that we don't agree with our dear friend Mr. Khan and his ULEZ knocking attempts to demotorize London. And there he is, my
There
very
he
dear
is.
friend.
ULEZ ultra low emission zone.
That's right.
A piece of more unscientific cult rubbish. Why doesn't Ed Davey complain about that? Why doesn't Ed Davey say, show us the data, show us the lives that have been saved on account of your potty policy?
He's more likely to put a grin on his face and do a pole dance down that sign there, isn't he? But
Ed Davey.
Yeah,
you wouldn't suggest that Sadiq Khan's even got the creativity to do that. But carry on.
That is true. That is true. So yeah, but I mean, if people would like to know more, if they go to abd.org.uk, we are an organisation that we're a not-for-profit organisation, and we do need the membership to grow, and we have a number of members and donors that help us to do our work, which is basically to go along on behalf of all motorists of the UK. I think he says around 37 million.
That's right, I think so.
Yeah. And
37 million victims of government policy.
Yes.
37 million people who drive around and end up paying taxes.
Yeah.
A very large proportion of which go off to try to ward off the debts that the government's built up.
Yeah. And if we don't stand up against them now, there's no point in us crying about it once we're off the road. So yeah, that's my take on it anyway.
Well, yeah, but you've got a vested interest. Yeah. A not-for-profit vested interest.
I'd like to be able to drive.
I know. Yeah, how selfish.
How selfish.
Yeah, and there's no way for another time, but there's no way they're going to be able to have enough electric charging points and electric power to go electric in 2030, which is
and who realistically wants to wait half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, and have some limp £5.90 sandwich from a service station when you're actually in a rush to get to a meeting?
I'm glad your sentence continued as it did. I was worried for a moment. Well, there we go. Always skirting around the danger zone with you, Paul Naylor.
I try my best.
We've got a picture of an ABD rally, Alliance British Drivers rally, actually. Yeah. It should be quite a big motivation for people to join. There we are.
And that was last Thursday. Yeah.
The well-wishers there looking for. Do you know the name of that vehicle?
Is that the Hillman Imp?
No.
What is that?
East Germany. That's a clue.
Oh, is it? Well, that's a Trabant.
Yes, they're all Trabants.
Oh, blimey.
2 strokes.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Then
I love the smell of 2-stroke in the morning.
All it conjures in my brain is U2 from the early 90s. But
that really takes us back. I'd like to apologise for anybody who's under the age of 60 for today's show, by the way. And if you are under the age of 60, then perhaps what we need to do is just remind you of why you shouldn't buy a Jaguar, just in case you missed it earlier.
Oh dear.
Unbelievable. Delete ordinary. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Copy nothing.
Yeah. That's got to be the worst dating app ever. There you go.
I haven't got your experience of dating apps, Paul, by the sound of it. That's been a lot of fun, actually. You have to come more often. Come along more often. It's. Hope you enjoyed that. Did you enjoy it?
I did, and thank you for supporting Full Throttle the way that you do as well.
Well, the whole station was a risk, but it is really going well. And
yeah,
today's show is something of a celebration because your show is the fastest growing show at the moment.
fantastic,
Full
fantastic.
Throttle. And we've got a great guest for you, Kingsley Hamilton, who was on a different show. He's an amazing guy. And I was watching him. He was with Claire Dyer on Dire Consequences recently. What a guy. He's got to come on your show.
I'm sure Kingsley will be on our
oh, do you know him?
radar.
Have you heard of him? Yeah.
I've
it's quite a character.
Very briefly to him. Yes, he's certainly a live wire.
Yes, he knocks those Trabants out of the park. So thanks so much. Once again, remind us, where can people find out more about the ABD?
Go along to abd.org.uk. You can find out how to join us in trying to keep us on the road.
Hey, that's very good. Thank you so much. I haven't said hey that many times in a single show till now.
Well, thank you, Timmy Mallet.
So many references to the past. Right. Okay. Well, thanks very much. That is Paul Naylor from the ABD, and do watch Full Throttle. It's a great show. Please subscribe as well. Subscribe to Unprecedented TV at YouTube. We've got an ever-growing stable of programs, and we do it all for you. But it helps us. It's free to subscribe these days at the moment, at least. Please join us, subscribe, and like as well. Hope you enjoyed that show. I hope we didn't stray too much into the world of offence. Nothing we said there would have been offensive 20 years ago. But that's a woke world for you. Lots of other great shows coming up as well. And if you've got an idea for a show, let us know, and we'll give it serious consideration. In the meantime, I'm Lembit Öpik. That was Lembit Öpik Live on Unprecedented TV. Have a super day.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
Boring. 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 Boring.
You gotta work. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're gonna feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're gonna feel.
I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages,